false imprisonment, 6 counts of cruelty to a dependent adult.
How much jail time did they get? It's probably laughable.
Yeah. It is. So, let me just play something for you.
My parents took my whole life from me, but now I'm taking my life back. Life may have been bad, but it made me strong. I fought to become the person I am. I saw my dad change my mom. They almost changed me, but I realized what was happening. I immediately did what I could to not become like that. I'm a fighter, I'm strong, and I'm shooting through life like a rocket.
I love both of my parents so much. Although it may not have been the best way of raising us, I am glad that they did, because it made me the person I am today. I just want to thank them for teaching me about God and faith. I hope that they never lose their faith. God looks at the heart, and I know He sees theirs.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I know, that's
that little girl's got some balls. Yeah. And that poor older kid has just been beaten into submission.
They're so brainwashed by these people. It's almost like an abused animal.
Right.
They crave so much to make you happy.
Right.
That these kids are given these parents
that just fucking don't give a shit.
Like a free get out of jail free card. Like they forgive them. They tried their best. Come on. These kids.
Did they even get any jail time?
They did. So after the children's statements, Louise and David Turpin both broke down before making their following statement. And this is the stuff that pissed me off.
I am so proud of each and every one of my children. I miss all of my children, and I will be praying for them. I long for the opportunity to have contact with them. Thank you.
I'm sorry for everything I've done to hurt my children. I love my children so much.
Bullshit.
I'm supposed to be better than each one of them. I only want the best for them. Their happiness is very important to me. They're very smart, amazing individuals. I hope they get all the education they need.
I call bullshit on her.
She's the one that let the grandpa rape them and molest them.
No, the grandfather raped her.
But I thought you said that she would let him do it.
No, her mother let her grandfather do it to her.
Oh, okay.
But she's the one that was cruel and unusual to her own children, tying them with chains or ropes to their bed, denying them food, denying them hygiene or medical attention. And she has the nerve to say she loves all her children. When I saw that, I wanted to jump through my computer and beat her ass for her.
Well, and the fact that they're like, oh, we hope they get the education they need.
Yeah, you didn't give them any education.
No, and you lied to the state. You withheld,
like, basic human rights to these children, and you have the nerve to shed a tear? It's
maddening.
So, both were sentenced to life imprisonment.
Good.
With the possibility of parole in 25 years. Experts believe they will never receive parole due to the severity of their crime, making it effectively a life sentence.
Good.
David is serving time in California State Prison, and Louise is in the Central California Women's Facility. The Turpin siblings have new lives and are now looking forward to their futures. They all are happy. And according to Riverside County Deputy District Attorney Kevin Beecham, in an issue of People, they're moving on with their lives. One sibling has graduated from college, and several go to school and have jobs. Some of them are living independently, living in their own apartments, having jobs, and going to school. Some volunteer in the community and go to church. The 6 youngest siblings have been adopted and are adjusting well. The younger ones didn't have as many years of abuse and neglect, so they'll rebound a little bit better. He went on to say the other siblings are in group homes. They're receiving really good help with therapy, counseling, and other psychological assistance. They're in a better place than they have ever been before. Beecham says all 13 siblings see each other regularly and meet somewhere discreet. Some of the siblings have changed their names.
I would.
Well, I can imagine they would. I mean, why would you want that hanging over your head constantly? People looking at you, and it's just so sad. Why would, I mean, how could you do that even to a stranger, let alone your own children?
Well, and then there's stories, I think we were talking about the other day, where it's like these women, they'll like gang up on one kid and they'll have all the other kids.
Yes, I've read. I was thinking about that the other day, and didn't you mention that to me?
Yeah, so there's a couple, it's like Deadly Women. There was this one episode, and the lady, like, all the kids ganged up on this one kid until they killed her.
Probably because they were afraid of what the mother would do to them.
Right, but then once that one kid's dead, it's Russian roulette. Who's next?
Some people should not be allowed to appropriate.
Right. Especially in this the fact that the neighbors didn't say anything.
I know, they could have prevented
even
8 years of that.
Right. And those poor kids that did go through it, that could have been just taken right then and there. Or the 29-year-olds.
If I was in prison and it was a life sentence, I'd beat her ass for her.
Right. No, lady.
What do I got to lose?
And then to brainwash the poor kids, too, on top of it.
And these kids were acting like their parents did the best. I mean, there were more statements, but I only played the 2. But they're acting like these parents should be given a break. And see, though, they knew they weren't right.
Right.
Or else that girl would not have ran. They wouldn't have.
And she wouldn't have called 911. You know what I mean? There wouldn't have been a plot for 2 years. 2 years to plot your escape.
I mean, how brave is she? I give her props.
Say she's got cojones.
Yes, she does. That's why when people see something that doesn't seem right to them, they need to say something. It's better to find out that, you know what, maybe you were seeing something that really wasn't there and everything is fine. I would rather look like an idiot than to turn my head and say, well, what if something's not wrong? Then I'm going to be looking like an idiot. I'd rather look like an idiot than have somebody abused.
Because you literally never know.
You never do know. Like that family next door, they look perfectly innocent. They might not be perfectly innocent. You've got to speak up.
Especially when you see all this stuff coming out of the house. You know what I mean? Ugh.
So it's a hard one.
It was a tough one.
It's always hard when kids are involved.
Especially to have that many and then just abuse them all.
I mean, what, you got your jollies off of holding these kids captive?
And brainwashing
them? What the fuck is the matter with people?
Right. And then just what even they fed them and everything. It's come on, man.
Yeah, they're living on peanut butter sandwiches or bologna sandwiches while the parents are fat and happy living on takeout.
Right.
We need to, after this show, think of something that makes us happy.
Yes.
and not think of this world being so shitty.
Right, because there are good parents who have...
I'm a good parent.
Me too. That's why I only had one.
Me too.
Because I knew I couldn't deal with more than that.
Yep.
And, you know... But then I have friends that grew up in big families, and, you know, sometimes they're resentful because they help take care of the younger ones. So it's, you know, it's a catch-22. But at least they weren't being abused. They weren't tied to their bed. Yep. You know, changing a diaper is a little different.
I felt guilty as a mom when Lauren was little. If I gave her bottle and she spit up on the jammies, if I put her in that bed, I mean, I remember one time thinking, it's not that. It's only
you just wipe it down. And you're like, yeah.
And so I put her to bed, and what did I do? I went and got her and changed her nightgown.
Right.
Because I felt like I'm not putting my kid to bed in a dirty outfit.
And meanwhile, you know,
there's kids that are
in diapers that are 3 days old. Yeah.
That. So. But anyway, what's on the horizon for next week, Kelly?
So next week we're going to have the coin shop killer.
Well, that sounds interesting.
It's very interesting, and it was kind of one of those, like, turn of the century when we got some new police equipment, so it helped kind of get the bad guy. So I'm really excited about it.
That's neat.
So
I love all of your podcasts.
I know, this one was interesting, too. And
I like to sit back and listen to you, though.
Well, I have a couple
I'm
of them
lazy.
coming up,
I don't want to do the work. But anyway.
Until next time, guys.
Remember, if you see something, say something.
Find us at patreon.com/shinythingspodcast. Follow us on Instagram at Shiny Things Podcast. Find us on Facebook. Our group is called Shiny Things Podcast. Twitter at ShinyThingsPod1. You can email us at shinythingspodcast@gmail.com. You can send us snail mail at P.O. Box 299, Stottville, New York, 12172. Please send your listener stories to shinythingspodcast@gmail.com. Use any of our social media to send us show ideas, some love, and even additional details we may have missed. Until next time, thanks for listening.